Wow, it's all Kai's fault, even though, yes, in my opinion, Kai had his poorest game in an Arsenal shirt. Poorest game in an Arsenal shirt yesterday. That was his third official game, third game in the Premiership. Yes, I agree. If you come with the narrative that Kai had his poorest game in an Arsenal shirt, I agree. But that's not totally true. Trossard was horrific. It was horrible yesterday. Nobody mentions Trossard. Martinelli was huffing and puffing, made a lot of bad decisions, a lot of bad passes. He didn't impact the game. Nobody talks about Martinelli. Saka was culpable for the first goal he conceded in the first minute. Nobody talks about it. But let's pile on Kai Havertz because we don't like him. Make it make sense. I'm not defending Kai Havertz from having a poor game yesterday. I agree he had his poorest game in an answer sheet. In 3 games, it's just 3 games. But nobody want to talk about Trossard, Saka, Martinelli. No, let's pile everything on Kai. Even though when we equalized and scored and made it 2-1, Kai was not on the pitch. Even though the concession of the second goal that made it 2-2 was solely due to Zinchenko's unprofessional attitude, dilly darling, and he made on what people call on first error yesterday. Nobody want to talk about Zinchenko, Trossard, Saka, Martinelli, who had poor games, but let's fix everything and pile on Kai. Make it make sense. No, I was doing a live stream yesterday, and some guy comes and don't talk about AFTV. AFTV is part of the problem. They give platform to people who have an agenda and they don't push back with objective questioning. No. Because yesterday was a day they can make all the views and more money. Like they're a public platform, just like my channel is a public platform. People come and criticize me here. So why can't I criticize AFTV? Objectively, keynote objectively. I'm disappointed at the result yesterday. I am damn disappointed. But for a lot of you to get hysterical, third game in the season, third game, 7 points out of 9 is not a disaster. That's above average. 7 points out of 9. I'm not saying we should not be beating Fulham at home. That's not what I'm saying. I'm very disappointed. But I'm not going to rip the team into shreds because we drew against Fulham at the Emirates, because Manchester United fans, Chelsea fans, Man City fans are getting on my back. They are bantering me, so I'm going to pile on the team. That is childish. You should know that banter comes with the game, right? Banter comes because if you can give it, you should be able to take it. But it's unfortunate a lot of you fans who will go loudly, go to other channels and be bantering them, can't take it when it's piled on you. Kai Havertz is not the problem of the team. Some of you are listening to Craig Bailey saying, Arteta overcomplicating it. Okay, I can buy the argument to a little bit, but no. Yes, we got an injury with Yuri Timo, who was supposed to be that inverted right back. Now he's playing Partey there. That's not Partey's strongest point, especially when we're on the defensive. I get it. And I'm sure Arteta will have seen it that it's not working. He will tweak it. But let's not rip everything to shreds. I'm disappointed too. But I'm not going to come here and push an agenda because that will give me more views and likes and probably more subscribers. That is not what we should be doing. 7 points out of 9 is not horrible. It's not. So stop it. And it's not solely Kai's fault we drew yesterday. But if you go by that logic, Fabio Vieira was an exceptional performer yesterday. Should not be at the club because a lot of you wrote him off. Oh, he's not good enough. He's so lightweight. He can't do this. Let's sell him. And look at him yesterday. He came on yesterday after his season. He's looking like, by that logic, Thierry Henry, your GOAT. If at that time we bought him, there was social media, a lot of you have been against that signing because you have said, oh, he's a bomb at Juventus. Why should we buy Juventus player? Who didn't make it at Juventus? Why are we buying him? Even Beckham. So I don't understand. Social media is a blessing and a curse. It's so much of a blessing and a curse. I'll argue it's more than a curse than a blessing because everybody, no matter how dumb they are, can get a mic and a camera and spew out nonsense. And guess what? They have a market for that. They have huge market for people who have an agenda, for people who are just naysayers, who can never see any positive thing. I'm not saying they're celebrating a draw against Fulham. That's not my gripe. I'm saying I'm disappointed. You are disappointed. Let's have a calm head. We're not going to win or lose the English Premiership title by drawing in the third game of the English Premiership. We've not even played 10 games, not 20 games, not 30 games, and we're all hysterical. Like, let's calm down. I'm talking to sensible people in the audience. Let's calm down. There are some people that you can never win them with a logical argument. Let them be. But for the sensible people, it is not as horrible, as bad as some of this media, mainstream, and even private content creators are making it to seem. Don't buy into this unnecessary noise. It's just all noise. Can we do better? Obviously. I'm all for that. And I'm sure Arteta can say it. And I'm not going to write off Kai because of 3 games or because of Chelsea fans are bantering me and someone write off Kai. That will never happen. Now, I'm not saying he performed well at Chelsea. Just as I think a lot of people will say Henry was not great at Juve. But look at what he did at Arsenal. So let's give him time. Just like Fabio Vieira, a lot of you wrote off last season. Look at what he did in that 30-plus minute cameo yesterday. So let's be sensible and let's calm down. I'm disappointed, you're disappointed, but that doesn't mean we should rip out the whole thing. Like, share, subscribe. Very important. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and make sure your notification bell are turned on. Kai was not the sole problem of yesterday's defeat. He was not. Like I mentioned earlier, Trossard had a bad game. Does that mean Trossard is not a horrible player? Hell no. Any player can have a bad day. And we had too many players that had a bad day yesterday. But let's not just pile everything on Kai. I'll see you guys on the next one.